Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us as we close off the Summer 2020 cohort of the Aspiring Scholars Directed Research Program. My name is David Linevers, and I serve as the Director of Operations of ASDRP. And welcome to our plenary session of our annual expo, which we hold at the end of every summer's cohort. This year, in light of highly unprecedented and unusual circumstances, we're holding the expo virtually instead of meeting in person in order to celebrate the achievements of our student researchers while keeping everyone safe. Over the course of the next few minutes, you'll hear from various members of the ASDRP leadership, and then we'll break out into individual rooms where you'll get to hear from the student researchers themselves. Enjoy the session, enjoy the achievements, and we're really proud of you. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joni Jan. I'm the president of Olive Children Foundation. A little over 10 years ago, we started things off with the vision that every student has the potential to change the world, and with the mission to transform the young people of today into leaders of tomorrow. What we are about to encounter is one embodiment of that mission and vision.
About 3 months ago, many of you stepped into new soil. Some of you stepped into a new, perhaps foreign, world of research, one where the challenge and the charge was not only to learn about what is known, but to discover the unknown. For some of you, this involved stepping into a new laboratory facility, a new environment, or perhaps a new computing environment. For all of you, this involved stepping beyond what is known into the world of what has yet to be discovered. This might have involved searching for exoplanets in the night sky. It might have involved extracting traces of genetic information from soil samples, or synthesizing new anti-cancer compounds or nanoparticle delivery mechanisms for such compounds. Or perhaps this involved generating computer models of data trends, engineering next-gen photovoltaic materials, analyzing lie detection methods, studying the effects of the pandemic on mental health, or programming new softwares that help us discover more about the world around us. Whatever you spent the summer working on, I think all of you can look back on the last 3 months and point to multiple, perhaps countless experiences, new skills, new discoveries that you have made while working under your research advisor. To all of you researchers out there, all 400 of you, you're part of something the world has never seen before. You've moved beyond the mere status of a student. You're a researcher, a scholar, and the future of a global community. And for all of you parents, family members, friends, guests, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Welcome to a finite glimpse into what excellence in research looks like at the high school level.
The interdisciplinary nature of science is what leads to the development of creative, novel research projects that tackle some of the biggest problems we face today. With the unprecedented pandemic, we are witnessing a strong surge of researchers from different backgrounds working together to find cures and/or remediate any downstream effects. At ASDRP, we value this type of teamwork, and we hope you are able to appreciate it, especially during the first few months of the program. Before you embarked on your research journeys this summer, you may recall completing pre-work courses, from taking courses in learning the biochemical reactions involved in metabolism, to gaining an understanding of practical applications of Python, to even incorporating quantum mechanic principles to atoms. All of these courses were intended to expose you to the interrelated nature of these topics, and hopefully push you to incorporate these different ideas into your respective research projects. In the span of just 2 months, you were able to complete and pass undergraduate level courses that other students may have taken semesters to complete. This is an amazing feat. You should all be extremely proud of your accomplishments in the pre-work phase. With the emergence of the biomedical research cluster this summer, you were exposed to guest speakers from different professions within biomed: physicians, medical and postdoctoral students, and even industry workers. Their stories and experiences provided a foundation for incorporating different principles in biomed to achieve just one goal: improving patient care by understanding the pathophysical mechanism that causes disease. We learned that this one goal can be achieved in multiple ways, such as physicians directly treating patients, researchers studying signaling pathways and genetic mutations associated with diseases, or even biomedical engineers utilizing digital medicine to improve accessibility and efficiency in care nationwide. At the end of the day, it is your decision on how you want to make a difference. and we just hope that our inspirational guest speakers have guided you closer to your destination.
Good morning. I'm Rob Downing, the chair of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. This year in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, we saw a rapid extension of the computational resources we are able to offer our students, including a set of state-of-the-art servers that have been well used in serving our researchers' computational needs this year. I've had the joy, pleasure, and privilege of working with some of the brightest young minds out there, and my colleagues in the department and across the rest of ASDRP will likely agree with me here. This has been one of the most rewarding experiences we've had as industry professionals and academics. Here's looking forward to a wonderful expo. Talk to you all later.
Hopefully all, of you student researchers have come to recognize my voice from our weekly cohort meetings. You've learned how to read and digest scientific and academic research papers, how to design experiments and interpret results, and how to communicate your scientific and scholastic findings in a professional environment. Research is all about this process, and we will soon be releasing the 2020 edition of our student-written journal, which contains a compilation of work that all of you have been involved in over the course of the summer. Besides our written journal, symposia like today are another important way we disseminate our original research at ASDRP.
Hi, my name is Edward New, and I oversee chemistry and biochemistry and physical sciences here at ASDRP. And again, it's a tremendous pleasure to welcome all of you to our 2020 virtual symposium. Certainly, this is not how we've planned things out last year and how 2020 would look like, but we're here. And I want to personally thank all of you research students who have worked in this lab facility here for helping to do your part in keeping everyone safe during these really strange times. We live in a world that is wrought with problems, whether related to the pandemic or whether it's related to climate change or human disease or poverty or a socioeconomic disparity or fluctuations in the stock market or poor ways of making chemical entities. The world is full of unsolved challenges, and there are fewer people who are better equipped to be addressing those challenges than all of you researchers who are sitting here listening to all of this and thinking back about all the work that you've accomplished over the course of the summer. There's much to be proud of. Hopefully you have learned to not only pipette, not only write code, not only access the server remotely, not only how to make a molecule, but hopefully you've also learned how to act as a scholar in this new global community that we're in right now. How to behave professionally with your peers, with those that you report to, how to talk about the work that you're involved in, no matter how complicated it is, to somebody who has no experience in the field, as well as to somebody who has 10 years of experience in the field. Okay, all of you have worked incredibly hard this summer, and there's so much to be proud of. Just this summer alone, in this laboratory building, all of you have gone through over 240 boxes of nitrile gloves. I'm going to quote all these statistics for you, and some of you might find interest in this. 2,150 petri dishes. Yes, we did sit there and count them by the tens at least. 14,000 Eppendorf tubes, about 25 pounds of micropipette tips. Yeah, we have to measure by pounds because there's just so much of it. About 85 gallons of organic solvent. Okay, that's high throughput. That's the throughput of our research lab here. Thanks in whole to all of you researchers, has been absolutely amazing, and there's a lot to be proud of. All the hard work that you have been involved in the last 3 months is about to pan out in about 10 minutes from now when you talk about your research and your findings and you disseminate that information to the rest of the world. So I'm really excited to hear about some of the work that not only my group has been involved in, but also groups across ASDRP. Part of our goal here at ASDRP has always been to provide the absolute best instrumentation, equipment, facilities, and resources to our research students. And that's exactly what we've been able to hopefully do this summer, thanks to the generous support of some of our corporate and community sponsors, whether they be companies or individuals. So first of all, if you're a parent listening to this, thank you if you've donated your finances or your time in helping to support ASDRP. None of the work that we do here would be possible without any of you. I would like to give a special shout out to an analysis from whom we have our nuclear magnetic resonance spectrometer for the last 2 years and all the troubleshooting that they've helped us get through, as well as Thermoscientific, from whom we have our Fourier transform infrared spectrometer. This last year, we also saw the installation of a Thermo LTQ XL mass spectrometer. Hopefully some of you students have come back and told your parents all about this instrument. It's actually right behind me through that window. It's state-of-the-art mass spec, the very first mass spec available for high school students, right here under our roof as of a few weeks ago. And many of you have gotten a chance to get trained on the instrument and to run your own samples on it. And that's absolutely fantastic. To have that skill before you even hit college is phenomenal. Having that skill while you're in college is phenomenal. Having it while you're in high school is just unheard of. And that would not be possible, again, without the generosity of a number of private companies in the Bay Area who have made that possible. And thank you to Farm Out Labs in particular for that nitrogen generator. We are super thankful for all of our corporate sponsors and supporters in helping to make science happen at the high school level in a way that the world has never seen before.
Here at ASDRP, we believe that there ought to be no barriers in research. Science, and more broadly, research, is a unifying experience. It brings all people from all backgrounds together in the pursuit of some of the world's biggest questions. Here in the leadership here at ASDRP, we uphold the importance of diversity, opportunity, and equality in research. We hope that wherever you come from, no matter what your demographic background, geographical location, or prior academic experiences, you found a place of belonging here at ASDRP.
Hello. This is the second year I'm an advisor. I feel very privileged to be able to advise some of the best students from around the Bay Area. I'm confident that many of you will go on to some of the best colleges and have very successful careers later on. As I encourage everyone whom I advise, working effectively in groups is a very important skill to have. Research and engineering are really team sports. As you present today, as well as listen to others, remember to elevate those who have helped you and acknowledge them. I want to double click on the diversity point made so far. For teams, encouraging and shaping the diversity of opinions will generally lead to better outcomes than those achieved individually. As you strive to become leaders in the years ahead, please be an ally to diversity. Speak up for those who cannot, or who do not feel confident to speak up. The society as a whole will progress faster and better as more of you diversity allies become leaders in the future. For today, it is a time for celebration. Also, remember, this is a time to really thank your parents and family for all the support and tolerance that they have given you. Congratulations for a wonderful summer of research. Looking forward to see you in the future.
We live in a world where the norm is to back out when things get tough, when things get challenging, when things get complicated, when it's tough to see the end of the tunnel. And I hope the biggest lesson that all of you researchers have gotten from this summer is that that's not how to proceed in a world full of questions that need to be answered. When things get tough, you don't back out. You hunker down and you think about, how do I approach this with every ounce of my energy, with every ounce of my intellect? How do I get my hands on all the resources and all the brains around me? And how do I ask these questions in a way that will eventually be impactful? Researchers don't give up. They will inevitably encounter challenges, encounter difficulty, encounter adversity, and just look outside your window. You'll see challenge, you'll see adversity out there right now. And all of you have experienced this to some degree, some more so than others this summer. And what I hope all of you researchers walk away with is a sense that it's okay to be encountering challenges. It's okay to be in difficult situations. We live in a world that is very much so bought into the idea that as soon as things get tough, as soon as things get complicated, as soon as challenge faces you, you back out, you run away, you go the other direction, you find something else to do. And that's not how science progresses, and that's not how hopefully we've taught you. We've taught you to persevere through these circumstances, to be resourceful, to grab a hold of all the resources that you have your hands available to your hands, and to press on and ask those questions, and eventually we'll come to a solution. Eventually you'll get to the end of the tunnel. And when you get to the end of the tunnel, when you get to those solutions, man, those moments are all the more enjoyable and all the more gratifying than something that simply worked on the first shot. If you're joining us in the fall, the journey continues. Okay? The excitement of science never ends because the questions to be pursued never end in coming to us. And as long as there are problems in the world, I tell this to my research students all the time, as long as there are problems in the world that need solving, you have a job to do, and that is to produce ideas and produce knowledge in a way that is beneficial to science, to society, and to your field. And that's exactly what we have done, what we're currently doing, and what we will be doing this upcoming year. So I'm excited to see what you guys have done. I'm excited to see what all of you will end up doing in the coming years.
Okay, for the next 2 hours, we'll begin hearing from our student researchers themselves about their research, discovery, results, and future directions. Here's how it's going to work. At the conclusion of the opening plenary session in a few seconds, our student researchers will begin presenting their work in one of 9 presentation rooms. Scroll down the page and click the button to join any presentation you'd like. Click on the full Symposium page program on the left panel of this page to access a complete list of schedules of the student presentations. You may also view the schedule of presentations happening in each room by clicking on the buttons below. There'll be 2 one-hour-long oral sessions broken down into 15-minute presentation blocks. Between these 2 sessions is a brief 15-minute intermission for our moderators to get everything in order. At 3:45, scroll back up here for the live stream of the awards ceremony and the closing of the Summer 2020 Research Exposition and Symposium. With that, find your way into one of the presentation rooms below and enjoy. See you all back here in 2 hours. Wow, was that awesome or what? Whether you're a student, a parent, or another member of the ASDRP community, we really hope you enjoyed what you've seen here today.
Thanks, David. I agree. That was awesome. Over the next few minutes, we're going to be announcing some of the awards that we have given to some of our student nominees across different disciplines. There are a total of over 40 awards presented to student researchers who have gone above and beyond what we expect of our student researchers and who have demonstrated a particularly special level of diligence, of expertise, and of rigor in their work. Now, this is the hardest part for all of us because, as all of you probably know from watching these presentations, each and every one of our research students is highly deserving of an award. But as it stands, we can't give 400 awards. And so we've asked our advisors to kind of nominate who they thought would be deserving of such awards, and we'll hear about some of these awards in a few minutes.
Moving on to the Leadership Awards, we're proud to award Anya Bhatia with one of the Summer ASDRP Leadership Awards. Anya led efforts to create collaborations outside of ASDRP and led her team in project planning, procedure, and completion. Ardish Basulu was a student of Larry McMahon, who's an outstanding contributor in the area of quantum physics and did excellent work with his advisor and his research team all summer. Our next awardee is Nishant Chadha. Nishant was the backbone of the Summer 2020 research projects. Without him, the summer would not have went as well as it did. He was the main point of communication between his research advisor and the rest of the student team. He pushed the other students to get work done by delegating tasks and went above and beyond to search the literature for alternative methods and procedures. This summer, Aniket Das excelled in the program. He was a true team player amongst his fellow researchers. He also displayed thoughtful insights into the various discussions and research findings. We are very proud of the work that Aniket Das has done for us this summer. Our next awardee is Vivek Garg. Vivek is an aspiring researcher, and so is his team. He is passionate about research and overcomes challenges with an assertive mindset. He took the initiative to lead his team by example and contributed from all the ends to reach the goals of the project. He is a truly motivated researcher to excel in his field of interest. This award will heighten his interest in the field of science and research, and we look forward to great things from him. Our next set of ASDRP Leadership Awards go to Anj Karbanda. Anj consistently held the team accountable for work, side meetings, and deadlines. He did the hard work and the statistics, even though he was already contributing more before because he would help the other team members understand the math that some of them didn't know how to do. It is one of the reasons that his advisor believes that Anj demonstrated outstanding leadership this summer. Our next awardee is Vikram Karmakar. As one of the outstanding researchers this summer, Vikram continues to demonstrate leadership skills, inspiration, and the drive to help his research team and advisor do their best and look forward to publishing papers in the future. Michael Lutz. Michael Lutz is an inspirational and effective leader of his research group this summer. He leads by example in a humble but steady pace. He has very effectively been leading his team to study bias in social media, as well as reality of echo chambers as a concept for social media recommendations. Michael not only tried to involve everyone in his group, he was able to actively listen and adapt the research agenda to fit the strengths of each of his team members. As a result of his leadership, the final research has produced some truly noteworthy results on YouTube's moderation of bias in videos served for different types of users, as well as casting doubt on the notion of echo chambers for a number of well-documented scenarios. Well done, Michael. Leela Mooley. Leela is an excellent leader by example. She demonstrated this consistently by taking responsibility. She was always quick to volunteer to go to the lab and do the job needed. She was also taking the responsibility of making any mistake while working and doing her best to fix it. We were impressed by her ability to learn from her mistakes and apply them to her research team's outstanding work. Our final awardee of leadership is Aishi Pusarla. Aishi is a veteran of 2 years of ASDRP. Last summer, she worked under Jack Schertz in marine biology. About a year ago, she joined her advisor's group. When she began, she didn't think it would be a stretch to say that she was going to have a hard time figuring out what was going on in the research and how the group was functioning. It has been a tremendous joy and pleasure to watch her go from where she began to where she is now. Over the course of the last year, Aishi has co-authored nearly a half of a dozen peer-reviewed publications. And this summer, she stepped up in a unique role in helping new group members find their spot in the world of organic chemistry. Congratulations, leadership awardees. We're very proud of you.
Our next award goes to a student who demonstrated excellence in the pre-work courses offered during the first 2 months of the program. This student not only passed all the required and recommended courses for the advisor, but the student also took the most rigorous courses and received the highest grades in each one of them. This student was enthusiastic in learning, asked important questions during office hours, and went above and beyond to learn difficult material in a short period of time. I am also proud to say that this student received the highest grade in my Bio 250 Advances in Biomedical Sciences course, which is actually a medical school level course. It is my absolute pleasure to present the Pre-Work Course Award to Zaid Villani. Congratulations.
In this year's Summer 2020 Freshman ASDRP Awards go to Srishti Ganguly. Srishti made outstanding contributions to the project, The Host Galaxies of Fast Radio Bursts. From the very first day, her advisor was impressed by her ability to comb through difficult papers in astrophysics and cosmology. She was able to coherently summarize what she did without having taken a proper course in undergraduate physics. In addition to her excellent instincts for literature review, she developed image processing methods to measure the inclination angles of host galaxies and thought very deeply and carefully about the approaches we were taking. She was not afraid to challenge ideas or propose new ones. Her level of broad and deep comprehension and understanding would impress her advisor if she was a junior or senior in university-level astrophysics major. Bravo, Srishti. Our next awardee is Kimberly Cow. Kimberly was an outstanding freshman who worked very hard. She took responsibility in every step of the research during the summer. She was responsible for sending a daily report of the results and reviewing the paper before submission. Excellent work, Kimberly. The next awardee is Tavisha Napani. Tavisha is a highly motivated freshman who has spent the summer working on screening and small molecule photochemicals for efficacy against amyloidotic protein disorders related to neurodegenerative disease. Despite never having taken chemistry before, Tavisha is fearless in pursuing tough and challenging questions. Our final freshman award goes to Srivishal Sudaharsan. Srivishal, demonstrating exceptional capabilities and willingness to learn, was one of the outstanding researcher freshmen. Contributing significantly to the research done in his group in all applications, he had extreme willingness to learn any new concepts and fundamentally understand them and even be able to replicate the processes. Our final freshman award goes to David Iglesias. David joined the group this summer working on semi-synthetic berberine analogs. Despite never having taken a chemistry course before, he was never afraid of asking questions, of pursuing difficult techniques, and trying his best at being an independent scientist and productive research group member. We're all super proud of David and how far he has progressed, not only in learning techniques, but also in fearlessly pursuing very difficult problems in organic chemistry and chemical biology. Congratulations, freshman awardees.
The Department Chair Award for Biological, Human, and Life Sciences goes to Samantha Chu, Andrea Lee, Sadhana Chari, and Chahak Gupta.
For the first departmental award for chemistry, biochemistry, and physics goes to Bhavesh Ashok, who is actually a veteran ASDRP researcher. In the summer of 2019, Bhavesh worked also in Harman Bra's group on biophysical modeling of protein-ligand interactions. I've had the pleasure of having Bhavesh in my research group this last academic year, where he worked with a group of other students on berberine and semi-synthetic analogs of the compound, as well as doing a lot of heavy-duty computation on some novel compounds that we've been producing. So congratulations to Bhavesh Ashok, who is currently spending his summer working part-time in Harman Bra's group on computational modeling of protein-ligand interactions, and part-time on a collaboration between my group and on Rob Downing's group in using machine learning and data science to search the universe of chemical space for small molecules that might be efficacious in fighting human disease, including HIV and more recently the novel coronavirus. The second department chair award for chemistry, biochemistry, and physical science goes to a freshman who I met in lab, and I remember this individual very clearly as an individual who was absolutely persistent in asking every single question that one could possibly ask and getting to the very bottom of every single idea and every single doubt that he had about his procedures. His name is Rohit Suresh, and he works in Gayatri Ranganathan's group, working on nanoparticle delivery of a natural product called alpha-hydrin. And Rohit is just an exceptional freshman and was never hesitant to ask questions, no matter how big or small. He's highly self-motivated to strive as many times as need be and to troubleshoot every experiment in order to get successful results. He always had a thirst for learning, his advisor says, and I certainly have seen this as well. His research ideas are promising, and Rohit is going to win laurels and accolades in the coming years. And those are obviously very kind words from his advisor that I certainly reciprocate as well. So congratulations to Rohit for getting the department chair award in chemistry, biochemistry, and physics. And the third and last department chair award in chemistry, biochemistry, and physical science goes to a researcher in my group who I remember joined just about 11 and a half months ago as a freshman, who had a tremendous enthusiasm for science, who has a tremendous enthusiasm for things that are fun, and who exudes, I think, just a tremendous enthusiasm for this next department chair award. The third and final department chair award in chemistry, biochemistry, and physical sciences goes to a researcher in my group who joined my group about 11 and a half months ago, back in September of 2019, back when she was a freshman. And I remember very clearly the first few months of this individual being in my group. To be quite blunt, I don't think she had much of a clue of what she was involved in. And over the course of the next year, it's just been a tremendous pleasure in watching this individual grow intellectually and learn new skills, not only from myself, but more so, I would say, from fellow group members who are more senior at the time in the group, with just an undying level of enthusiasm, no matter what things work and what things don't work, and also a great sense of joy to be around. And so this next award goes to Sarah Sue, sophomore at Los Altos High School. Congratulations, Sarah, for getting the third and final department chair award. It's an absolute pleasure to have you in the group, and I'm looking forward to a lot of great results that you'll be producing this next year.
Rob Downing, chair of the Computer Science and Engineering Department. It is my express pleasure to be able to reveal that this year, because of the amount of excellent participation and research we had, that we're actually going to allocate or give out 3 chair awards for the Computer Science and Engineering Department. The first one is an individual from my groups. He actually stepped in and provided material, if not leadership, for 3 of my groups, did it consistently without fail, and proved to be a resource on whom I could depend no matter what happened. So for my award, Ojazwa Upadhyay, I would like to award you the Chairman's Award for the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Now beyond that, I have 2 more. Nominated by Karishma Johnson, Akshat Parikh, I would be very honored to award you a chair award as well. In the words of Karishma, you excelled at demonstrating leadership. You were adept in multiple languages and coordinating amongst them for data analysis. And you had critical thinking skills and the ability to ask interesting research questions that drove your research through the progress of the summer. It is my express pleasure to also give you a Director's Award, a Department Chair's Award. And then finally, from Dr. Mui's group, Anai Samalwar, you, according to Phil Mui, and this is a hard person to impress, greatly exceeded his expectations for the depth of your understanding on a variety of machine learning techniques, including some advanced ones, and you were able to rally your team to study additional potential causes of biases in criminal justice in the U.S. by utilizing the skills that you possess. The result is a set of results that will likely feed into, I'm assuming, your undergraduate research venues. Again, my honor in presenting you this award. And for all three of you, thank you. It has been an absolute pleasure to have you associated with ASDRP for the summer of 2020.
I'm happy to announce that the Women in STEM Award goes to Divya Murugan, Sanjana Narayanan, Lavanya Neti, Alicia Garaginmath, Shayo Amster, Isha Karle, Kritika Premnath, Caitlin Tran, Avani Sethi, Miha Bhaskaran.
So these next few awards go to students who have exemplified what it means to be a scholar of the field. And we call this the Excellence in Research Award. Now, there are so many of you who have done an excellent job and who are pursuing excellent research topics. And so it's a little bit challenging for us to always assign these awards, but they do go to one individual in each department who has demonstrated a work ethic that goes above and beyond what is typically expected amongst research students. And the first one goes to Sunny Vempati in Caitlin Higginson's group in psychology. And Sunny is being awarded the Excellence in Research Award because she took the lead on her project and had a great work ethic, her advisor says. She's always willing to speak up and ask questions that deepen her understanding of the research process and of her project. This individual also displayed strong writing and critical thinking skills that were more representative of a college student than of a high schooler. So congratulations to Sunny Vempati and Caitlin Higginson in psychology for the first Excellence in Research Award. The second Excellence in Research Award goes to Jonathan Tam in Calvin Leung's group in physics. And Mr. Leung writes of the student, Jonathan rose to the challenge of making substantial and original contributions to two distinct research projects, one in mechanical engineering and one in astrophysics. He developed a lot of hardware in CAD and displayed an ability to use a combination of pencil and paper, coding, and image processing techniques to measure the radii of 8 different galaxies. His contributions to both groups were very substantial and could possibly give the bulk of the presentation on both projects. So congratulations to Jonathan from the Leung Group in receiving the second Excellence in Research Award. The third and final Excellence in Research Award, I have the joy and pleasure of awarding to one of my own research students who consistently clocked over 40 hours a week in lab. This individual was involved in 2 projects and made substantial and significant contributions to both. And you know, if I showed up in lab in any given afternoon, chances are this individual would be there at our fume hood, either running a column, setting up a reaction, or at the UV vis spectrophotometer characterizing a compound or doing enzyme assays. And so this third Excellence in Research Award goes to Celine Kolakar, who worked on I think one of the most challenging projects for any high school or anybody in general to encounter, one in biophysical organic chemistry, tracking enzyme catalysis, looking at transition state structures, and also working on synthetic small molecules to fight cancer. So congratulations to Celine Kilakar for winning the 3rd Excellence in Research Award. This year, we also have an additional award, which we've termed the ASDRP Heritage Award. And this award is awarded to individuals who have who started with ASDRP when they were freshmen or sophomores and have continued until the present day. And you know, we haven't been around for more than X number of years. And so it's always refreshing to see the same individuals come back year after year. They may work for the same advisor, they may switch between groups, but the individuals who will be receiving the Heritage Award this year have been part of ASDRP for the last 3 years and who have made substantial contributions to their fields of research over the last 3 years, whether working for different advisors or working for the same advisor. And so the first Heritage Award goes to a rising senior from Mission San Jose High School in my group, Asavri Gowda, who started out in my group 2 years ago as a rising sophomore working on the role of metals in the synthesis of aspirin. Last year, she worked as part of as one of the researchers in our biomedical research cluster under Ankur Gupta on G quadruplex related things. And presently, she's working in my group on multiple projects related to cancer research. The next Heritage Award goes to an individual who began 2 years in Avery Kruger's group 2 years ago, looking at adensovirus in starfish in the North Coast. And this individual is Lasya Balapati. She then transitioned into Rob Downing's group last year and is presently working in Calvin Dung's group on theoretical quantum physics. So congratulations to Lasya. And the 3rd and final ASDRP Heritage Award goes to a rising 11th grade student at Mission San Jose High School who has really made tremendous strides in multiple fields of research, beginning first in Avery Kruger's group on nitrogen footprints in the Fremont area, followed by a brief stint with Hiral Dantara last summer on microbiology and bioengineering. And for the last 11 months, this individual has worked in my group on development and synthesis of novel antiretroviral compounds that we're using to target HIV. So congratulations to Jesslyn Wu.
Hello, students and parents. And now it is time for the overall award that is determined by our laboratory staff. This is going to be an award for 2 people that we believe contributed to the most effective and safe running of the laboratory. Both these people have consistently gone the extra mile to help and mentor fellow students. We also believe that they showed leadership, initiative, and brought a smile to the laboratory. Now, our 2 winners are Anirudh Suresh
and Aishi Rao. Thank you so much for helping us in the lab and hanging out with us in your spare time at the Rotolab. And while you guys are heating up your stuff in our little oven.
All right, we hope to see you around.
With that, we'd like to close the 2020 Research Symposium and Exposition for ASDRP. Thank you all for joining us this warm Sunday afternoon and for listening to some of the student presentations that we've been seeing all afternoon. To all of the research students out there, keep on doing what you're doing. Don't lose the rigor and the intensity that you've learned this summer pursuing research under your respective advisors. For those of you who are graduating next year, we wish you all the best in college. For those of you who are returning researchers, I said earlier, the adventure continues. Thank you for spending your summer with us. Thanks for spending the Sunday afternoon with us. And on behalf of the leadership at ASDRP and on behalf of the Board of Directors of All Children Foundation, it is my joy and honor and pleasure to close the 2020 summer cohort of the Aspiring Scholars Directed Research Program. Take care, guys.